Hey, it's Mikey.
And LC.
And we're going to do a commentary on our old Galaxy of Terror review.
Let's get this bitch going.
Play. So, the opening for this.
Yeah, Mikey, how much money did I actually rip you off for in this course?
A lot. Basically, this is actually how the idea to do this crossover came about. The three of us were just playing poker one night, and it's like, you guys want to do a crossover? Sure. And
basically, at the end of basically what happened was we were just trying to figure out, well, we can't just do it like us three together, like the cliche cheesy thing. So we said, well, what happened if me and Shark were like running a game and we were like ripping you off. That was a great shot too. I love how fast I actually grabbed that out of your hands.
I didn't actually see this until Hagen had filmed it for us, but it came out great. But she actually, there's a longer version which was actually better, but someone laughed at it, so I couldn't use it. Charlie's part. And then
I still want to know why didn't Alistair's hat get fucking credit in this film?
Sorry, I forgot to put it down.
Casting crew that would go on to much larger projects. Among the lights are James Cameron, this guy. The film opens on a sole survivor of an
Yes, listen to me talk by reading a script.
Yes.
I always come off robotic because I don't know how to read and talk at the same time.
Yeah, we're pretty obviously just reading right at the script.
Also, 3 days away from retirement.
Took us like so many tries. And he was.
I remember it because Shark kept cracking up, didn't he?
Shark cracked a few times. I cracked up a lot.
Well, yeah, because I was constantly throwing things at you.
Yeah, we'll discuss that when we get to those parts of the video. And red, glowy, random guy. I
don't think anybody understands what the hell that fucker guy was doing.
She's, this character. She's just like nuts.
It's a sci-fi film. Character development doesn't count.
Giving your crew a 30 seconds head up before you go on an intergalactic space voyage isn't how you run a ship. I mean, look at these fucking people. They're running all around. They're jumping in chairs. Ranger's chair isn't even working properly. How the hell is he supposed to strap the hell?
Which I give you credit for editing that because when I go into those rants, I talk very, very fast, and you actually had to edit that thing to keep up with me.
Yeah.
With the ship in space, the crew can relax a little. Everyone in there all right? Oh, nothing. Our captain's just a lunatic.
Complete lunatic.
Yeah, I still wish you let me do the original take when I think it was, no, our captain's just a cunt.
I'm not exactly I know you are, but I'm not really a swearing person when I write. Because I'm the one who wrote the majority of the script in like one day.
Yeah, so I basically just ad-libbed it. I read a script that said, I got it, ad-libbed everything anyways.
Adding the Willy Wonka sound effect, I didn't think of that until I was already editing this video. And it just popped in my head, so I just tossed it in.
Well, they made it to the planet Morganthus. It should be an
After seeing that, I just feel like I just watched a Info Toad.
Captain Trantor, if it weren't for the fact that we already know that you're crazy, I think you were trying to kill everybody.
She probably is.
Well, you know what? Misery loves company, and if you're going to go to hell, at least take your crew with them. Oh God, who plugged in the Atari?
This one was kind of rough for me to edit, just because I had to try and get the point across that they're landing, but I kept in a lot more of it than I probably should have. Just
they managed to make it to Morganthus in one piece.
I had to keep this part in just to establish that yes, they can breathe on this planet. Because otherwise, a whole lot of it's not.
It's a review. Does anybody really care?
Yeah, you got them there, but you nearly killed them in the process, you psycho.
The guilty heads out.
I added that in after. There was actually an on-camera segment which I ended up cutting out, where I said, you know what, I want you to actually die. But I felt that was actually kind of too mean.
Oh, dead body. Quick, you use your ninja star.
That was the worst delivery of a line ever.
Yeah, and that was another one that I recorded after the fact, after we'd already filmed everything else. I just needed to film that. I just recorded that myself on that when I was editing this.
But in fairness, if I do remember this, I think we filmed this the last day you and me were both together in Florida.
Yeah.
And we filmed it at like 8 a.m. in the morning.
So
So
pretty much
yes.
all of his voiceovers were filmed there, and a bunch of my voiceovers I did afterwards. Oh, this line. This is the only
Inside
take.
joke. Inside joke.
This is, yeah, because Shark Wayne's smoke alarm is always breaking when we used to have our meetings. He's fixed it since.
Even
Like,
in his videos, it always, if you listen carefully, there's always a beep of a smoke alarm.
and the take you saw, that is the only take where we got it right. Pretty much every other take, I just burst out laughing, or you screwed up the line.
In all fairness, every time I stand up, I scream something different, so...
Yeah. But we got one take, and that was the important thing.
So they decide to investigate the large pyramid-like object on the other side of the hill.
I added the Let's Split Up Gang from Scooby-Doo, just because I had to establish that these two characters split up for this team. And I just like that sound clip.
As you can tell, Mikey watched this film a lot editing, because he actually makes sense of it.
I had to watch it several times.
Did we ever actually reference the fact they have basically car headlights on their back?
I don't think we brought it up, but yeah, they're
And I order you to stay here while I do something dangerous.
I actually found this out.
Oh, I think I believe this was like one of my favorite jokes I wrote for this.
This music, seriously, I really do not get the music for this segment.
It's 80s synthesizer, royalty free.
Yeah, you're not gonna fall to death. You're gonna die by alien tentacles sucking the life out of you.
I say that with such an upbeat tone, for me anyway.
So, since the commander's dead, can I be in charge?
Let's see what the other team is doing.
Wait, did I make like a joke about that being like the biggest asshole second biggest asshole I've ever seen?
That's
Or that come later.
That comes later.
Okay. Seriously, it literally looks like the director had the guys line their cars up behind them and turn on their high beams.
So the next body is on the rotisserie.
The two teams regroup at the entrance to the pyramid, and the door.
And this is another one where I had to record the audio afterwards because I needed to establish this stuff because I forgot to write it in the actual script. So this was another after the fact. This was like one of the last things I recorded before I finally released this video.
I'm surprised we didn't. I don't know if I brought it up or not. I don't know why we didn't bring up more references to Sig Haynes.
Probably because I wrote the script and this
Oh, that's right. You don't know who Captain Spaulding or him from Chocolate or Coco or one of any freaking black exploitation film with a big titty black woman in it.
Yeah, that's more your forte.
Gotta love those big titty black women. Also, fun fact, I did find out in later terms that actually there's a reason Sig Haynes only has one line in this film. It's because he was so embarrassed of the script he refused to do his lines.
Actually, something I found out from doing some extra research, and you can see it, he cut off that part of that star thing, and now the star thing's back together whole. And
Well, at least he lives up to the only line he had in this movie.
To you, Captain Spaulding. We will miss you, chicken.
Reference to House of Thousand Corpses, Devil's Reject.
cue random date to random date.
Larry Damien returns to the entrance to check up on Q-Pod.
Seriously, can anybody character in this film actually have a fucking English-speaking name?
Oh, great! Now we have Damia's. The Damia is one of the main reasons people remember this movie for this upcoming scene.
Yes, it was hentai before there was hentai.
Editing around that was not fun.
Really, I would have had a lot of fun editing around that.
Well, I gotta go around blip. I can't show that.
I love that thing I do. Every now and then, if you catch me, like, when I get, like, a stun look, I kind of tilt my head. And Susie always likes to say it reminds her of, like, a confused dog, like, huh?
Okay, stop. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to see the main reason people remember this film.
Or at least whatever I attempted to show you.
Okay, for people not being able to see this in full, yes, a tentacle is raping a woman. All you anime fans are not shocked, but all you people who don't watch Japanese films are horrified.
It's just plain freaking weird.
Moving on. Yeah. Back on board the ship, poor the ship's cook tries to calm Captain Trantor as she continues to sink further into madness. Then she leaves and gets set on fire.
Okay, I remember this because with when I saw Robert Englund in this, I think I wrote a lot of the jokes for the like Robert Englund and Willie from V and Freddy Krueger jokes for this.
Yeah.
Don't you hate it when you get that burning feeling?
Okay,
That was
me ad-libbing, I think.
Yeah, that I wrote something else for it, and that was the one alternate he did, and I thought, okay, I'm using that one.
Burn anything in 5 minutes, so shut up.
Okay. The 5 survivors regroup back aboard the ship and decide to re-enter the pyramid and destroy the force field that's been keeping them on that damn planet.
And
Now-
if you think this is bad in the film, in this review, just us not being able to talk in these long things, this was 90% of the fucking film.
Now here's your line.
Yep.
It's the second biggest.
Don't say it. Second biggest. As they get closer to the pyramids,
Which, yes, I do that joke a lot. Like, that is the second biggest, etc. That is my shout out to Get Smart.
Yeah, now let's finally kill off our crazy pyrotechnic guy. Look around. Rips and
You know, you have a blowtorch. You can at least try to take it out with ya. Hell, you burned everything else in this fucking film.
The Goofy movie sound.
I think that was my joke, wasn't it?
No, I actually came up with that again while I was editing this. I didn't think of that when I first was making the script. It's just, as I was finishing up, I'm like, this would be fun.
Well, it's reviewer 101. Anytime somebody falls on comedically falls on a hole, you have to add the goofy sound. And this was me getting all excited when I saw this when I was actually awake, because Robert Englund's impression there is basically the same Freddy face, and then his actual character is basically a parody of Willie from V. So it's like, we got some hot Freddy on Willie action.
Yeah, this part you wrote.
Dude, you know how awesome this is? Willie from B is fighting Freddy fucking Krueger.
Yeah, let's see what the other people are doing.
He didn't actually tell me he was gonna do that.
If I do anything when I throw something or if I hit somebody in a camera, I never let them know in advance because I want to get a react. I want the natural reaction.
And in the blooper reel, you can see the alternate take where he hits me with his hat.
Yeah, I basically, what was it from like,
Let's see what the other people are doing.
yeah.
Ow.
Busy boo-boo when you get there. Yeah, she'll be fine.
Now let's kill off one of the last remaining characters.
Yes. We already killed off enough Z and B grade horror actors. So let's kill off an actress from Happy Days. Jody really did love Chachi.
Hey, Aluma, are you a rat?
When her head explodes, I didn't show the whole thing, but her head just explodes, and it was amusingly
Ranger Cameron is
weird.
about to move in the pyramid. Ranger is left behind because he is no longer useful to the plot. And Cameron ascends up the stairwell to the final
Seriously, light your shots so I can see what the fuck is happening.
Stairway to heaven.
Hey Ranger, if you do actually decide to help out, watch that 17th step.
Cavern enters the final room.
Cavern enters room. We never find out what happens to
There is
Ranger.
revealed that core is in fact the
My theory is he basically peels off his face and becomes a green alien and then heads to Earth.
That revealing dun 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 is just a stock sound effect from my movie.
Mikey, why did you add the freaking lens flare effect to this guy's face?
I had to. Because he's the planet master. This scene, I actually cut it down a lot.
Well, guess what?
In reality, Cavern goes like this fight scene with all of the other characters being brought back from the dead. But I just cut it down to just the end where he kills the character, just cause.
And if I remember specifically, I think this review is the actual only time I actually got to see the end of this film, because I kept falling asleep during it when we were trying to watch it and write notes.
And this is where the film ends.
This film is a whole lot of nothing. I mean, stuff happens, but it's not really explained.
It's weird.
Yes, it is very weird.
The last 20 minutes are enjoyably cheesy.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Roger Corman, out of his Renaissance days. I remember that. The smoke alarm was actually supposed to be a prop for the Project Million film,
But we ended up just only using it for here.
and we never used it. So I was like, all right, we spent money on this thing. I'm gonna fucking use it.
And then we just go back to ripping me off in poker.
Although a fun fact is, if you notice carefully, when I do actually flip that thing in the air, you notice I don't actually look at it while I'm catching it. I actually was watching myself in the camera monitor and actually caught it in the monitor, which is a lot harder than you think.
Yeah. So that was the Galaxy of Terror review we filmed with Shark at Project Million.
Yes, year later, audio commentary.
Well, hope you enjoyed this.
Yes. And good night. Thanks for joining us. Go fuck your mother. I'm gonna go tear this guy's asshole apart.
Cut.